This tragic news I'm about to share with y'all hit close to home for me. This girl right here was a close relative of mine, very close. Closer to me than my other cousin who got killed in December last year. I remember her when she was born. I remember when she was a baby, a toddler. She used to spend the nights over my house. I spend the nights over her house. Her name is Toyshika Snowden. Her nickname was NEE NEE, and that's what I used to call her. Her name was NEE NEE. Now, when she got older, we didn't spend that much time together, but every time we saw each other, we spoke to each other, we showed each other love. And yeah, she was younger than me, but I still had love for her. And so that's why this was hard to do. I was still trying to figure out whether or not I wanted to do it, but I know I needed to do it. It's not about clout to me. It's about keeping her memory alive. She was born on July the 1st, 1997. On Facebook, her name is Forever Bag Chasing. She was born in Monroeville, Alabama. Then later on, she moved with her family to Birmingham, Alabama, where she grew up, and then she moved to Atmore, Alabama. From what I know about her, she had a beautiful personality. She wasn't judgmental of people. She seemed real down to earth. That's the way she appeared to me. I'm talking about what she appeared to me. To somebody else, she probably was totally different, but to me, she was a down to earth person who didn't deserve what she got. She was more than just a relative. She was a mother, she was a sister, she was a daughter. According to what I was told and saw on Facebook, her sister was looking for her September the 3rd. She had mentioned that she had been missing. She hadn't heard from her in a couple of weeks. But it wasn't only her who was looking for her. Others was looking for her also. And they was all pleading for her to get in touch with them. Little did we know that there was a body found near Tacomas. And an Atmore man was charged with murder. Little did we know that it was her. Later on, a couple of days later, we would find out that it was her. We didn't know at first. We assumed that it was her. Then later on, we found out it was her. And this dude right here was the dude who did it. On Facebook, he called himself Done He's His Nights. And from what I'm hearing how he did it, the newspaper doesn't go into detail how brutal he killed my relative. And I'm not going to throw the details out there because that's really not my place to do that. I just wanted to talk about it and report on it because I do feel like it's important. But I will say how he killed her, it wasn't really killing her. It was overkill. It was overkill. I wouldn't do it to my worst enemy. It was killing. It was bad enough to just kill her, but to go and do all of that, what you did, that wasn't called for, bro. That wasn't called for. That's some bullshit. That's what it is. And his family members, of course, family members gonna stick by you if they're good family members, but they don't believe he did it. But me, I could believe he did it because when you look at his Facebook pictures, he seemed like he lived that thuggish type of life. On just about every pic, you see him acting like some type of gangster, like he hard or some shit, throwing up gang signs and all this and that. But we're not supposed to believe that he did it. Don't get me wrong. I'm older school. I know what you see is not always as it appear to be. I know that, but from what I'm hearing from family members and from newspapers, he did it. I heard he admitted to doing it to his father. I don't know how true that is. I know family members can over exaggerate also. I really don't know, because I wasn't there. But I do know that NEE NEE did not deserve that. She was 23 years old. She had her whole life ahead of her. She had a daughter to live for. None of us are perfect in this life. Truth be told, we all have made some messed up choices in life that could have led down this road, but we still here. I feel like she should have still been here. Regardless of what happened, she should still be here. I regret not reaching out to her. I should have reached out to her. I should have tried to be a mentor in her life and tried to help her, but she didn't never really try to get in touch with me for me to get close to her. And I'm one of those type of people, I don't try to be all up in nobody's butt, trying to make them love me or like me. If I could rewind and talk to her one last time, I would tell her to be very mindful of who she hung around. To just not hang around nobody because you can't trust nobody. Stay away from the crowd. Most of the time the crowd is a bad crowd. Stay at home. Do something with yourself. I wish I had the opportunity to tell her that. I don't know whether or not if she would have listened, but it would have been worth doing. Maybe she would have took a little heave, and just surrounded herself by positive people and stayed away from people. Because she was a good person. She was a down-to-earth person. She probably just needed guidance, needed, a mentor, somebody she could talk to. I wish I could have been that person to her. I don't know the history between her and that guy. I don't know if they was friends and he double-crossed her, or they had just met and, I don't know. I don't know the story. The only person people that knows the story now is her, the guy who supposedly killed her, or who killed her, and God. It's all type of rumors out about how they were acquainted, but I can't really go by that. I wasn't there, and I know how people can take the truth and flip-flop it and scramble it and turn it around. Then it becomes less true and more of a lie, because one person gets it, then they go to the other person and they add more to it, and then it just keeps going and going and going, and pretty soon it's far from the truth. So many lies have been put into it until it's all a lie, because they have replaced the truth with lies. That shit happens. It happens all the time. I don't know all the details, and I'm not going to pretend to. All I know is this was my relative. I loved her. I didn't see her that much, but I still loved her. I loved her from afar. And cuz, if you're listening in spirit, I am so sorry that this happened to you. I'm paying this tribute to you, Toyshika Snowden. I wish you were still here to live your life and spend time with your daughter and your family. I apologize for the stupid actions of that idiot. And one day, I hope to see you on the other side. Cuz, rest well. Rest in peace. Bye.